I've had a few dreams about living in one. You know, I don't want to start talking, traditional and all this stuff, but Native Americans, we believed in the circle. We believed in, like we were talking, whole guns and earth mounds and teepees and how the air, and circulates and what we were talking, and we're going to get into more about that, in the geometry and the geometrics and stuff. And it's been for thousands of years. I mean, for centuries and centuries. And now that we're in this world, in this society where everything's linear, we got corners and we have, mold, and we have to follow these regulations and stuff, and we're government products and blah, blah, blah. Well, let's try and let's be, as being young gentlemen, young leaders like Frank squared, and our other younger government leaders, let's get this bug going. It was a dream. It was reality. It became non-existent. Now let's bring it back. And with our younger generation that are in power now, let's see what we can do with this. And so when Frank asked Frank to come along and bring some people from some of our programs that build homes and stuff, they did ask me to come along, and I'm very interested in working with it, with the project that Frank, I guess, has, going now, and that's where I'm at. And so now I'm here, and I mean, it's going to be a reality for me. Actually, as a matter of fact, just on a personal note, I just recently got a job with the Standing Rock Sioux Tribe, and I'm going to stay there, and I want to build my own home. I'm going to a home equity loan program class to try to, to help get a loan for a house. Well, one of the things I want to find out, and it's going to be on my top priority, is can I get a dome home built on a reservation on my land near where I want to be? And what's the reality of it as a personal homeowner?
But to build this thing bigger, take the icosahedron and build it bigger, we need to subdivide the triangle. So we take that shape and we add another triangle in the middle of what we have on this one. If you look at this, you will notice these are pentagons here with red struts radiating out from it. But here's a hexagon. Here's a star of 6. Here's a pentagon. Here's a hexagon. Here's a pentagon. Here's a hexagon. Here's a pentagon. What we have done, because I said here's a pentagon and a pentagon and a pentagon, the next connection right here, if you look at it, you go from here to there to there to there, and there to there to there back. You now have created a 6-spoke hub at that point. So if we have 8 foot as the longest edge length, and we build a one frequency dome, and we have 8 foot as the longest edge length, we can do a 16-foot diameter. So the diameter is going to be 16 feet. 2 frequency, again with 8 foot long, we can do 26 feet. A 3 is going to give us 36 feet. When we go to 4, it's going to give us 46 feet. I'm sorry, 9 feet. And we do 5 and we do 6. So at 5, we're at 60 feet. At 6, we're at 74 feet. This is the diameter. So we're going to build a 74-foot diameter dome using 8-foot long pieces of lumber. Wow. Try to do that with any other building technique. Try to take a 2 by whatever, And we've come into some discussions with people and we go, okay, we're gonna talk about a, let's say a 49-foot diameter dome. It's got 2,000 square feet on the main floor. And there's a second floor inside. And we're gonna say, we are gonna build this with 250 pieces of 2x8, 8 feet long. Here, Mr. Conventional Builder, is 250 pieces of 2x8, 8 foot long. Build a conventional house that's got 2,000 square feet on the main floor and an extra 500, 800 square feet on the upper floor. And it can withstand 150, 200 mile an hour wind and can take 150 pound snow load. You can't do it. You can't do that conventionally. No, there's always showing for you. If you buy the cheap one, you buy the cheap one.
My name is Judy Pasick, and I was interested in something somewhat environmental. I started out with straw bales, and it didn't look like it was going to work out for people that were going to help me. And the lady I was staying with said, "How about domes?" So then I went online and saw that there was a dome home tour, and I came to it, and I've been a follower ever since.
You need to hold that down there, on that corner down there.
Center off the corner then?
What we do, when we look at this tape, there's a side of the tape. Well, it's a good point. What we say is, if people ask, well, what am I going to save in doing my own shell kit? All of what we're doing here this morning. I mean, all this pre-construction stuff that we're doing before we get out to the dome shell to put it up is stuff that we're doing. So you wouldn't have to do that if you buy this shell kit from us. So what we have as a rule of thumb is to take our retail price on the shell kit. And I don't have a price list out here, but that 36-foot dome, high profile, probably in the range of 17 grand, 18 grand is what I'm going to say, for the complete package that you would buy from us. The riser walls, the struts, exterior panels, base vent drip edge, top cupola kit, not the raised one, but this is the vent cupola cover to cover the hole in the top of your dome that vents the panels out. And if I'm going over your head, well, that's what the school is meant to do here. We're going to teach you along the way, and you'll know this by the end of the weekend. So all that stuff at $18,000. We're going to tell you that you're going to save at least a third of that doing it yourself. So you're going to save $6 grand, maybe more, depending on how you buy your materials, if they're really good prices, and what else you have to buy with that.
Dennis, is there any reason why you don't use a shank bit? The spiral bit?
This goes quicker. The spiral bit doesn't go as quick through the lumber. You can use a spiral if you wanted to. We've had people do that.
All right, someone next to put on the, Judy?
You can put it in.
You're in a roll. You don't want to stop it.
You got it upside down.
Your Deutsch or? Like my home I live in now, it's square. Rooms are square and a door, and you go in there like a maze. And you come into a place like this, it's just open, and and my thing is like the bedroom. That's my vision of my home. It's just gonna be me and my son are gonna be living there, and there's a loft, a master bedroom. But you never know. Or my eyes are vision like log home type, but at the same time, you know, could be this way too. But that's just, you know, why I'm here, is to support Frank there. And
What's up now? Get a real hammer in there.
Now, in watching him, I mean, it was just his angle this way was just slightly off. But because he stood in one spot and did them all the same, the angles were all the same. And I kind of looked at that, and you were the same consistency on all four. So if the first one goes in, it kind of slides that over a little bit to get it, and then the other four are going to fit.
My name's Sean Littleberry. I came from Standing Rock with Doug and Frank. And Frank said, "Come with me, I got a moose for you." Okay, well.
A what?
A moose.
A moose?
Over in Minnesota, so, okay. Yeah, and it's pretty good, nice. It's arched real fine. It's pretty good.
But let it bounce like this. There you go. Pull the trigger. That's what you're trying to do. So you're trying to let it bounce in there. That's a little deep, but that's okay. That's what it's on. So put it in the air. The dome is going to find its mathematical shape. So that's what's going all the way around. So we're going to grab a red strut. Each red strut is the same as the next red strut. And we're going to put the gussets up. We'll figure it out.
whoa, wait, don't fight now.
Wait, you gotta get the exterior.
I'm Henry Redlegs, and I'm from Standing Rock. And I got a call from Frank a couple of days ago, and he told me about this, and wanted to learn how to construct one and help out with the project that's going to be going on, hopefully. So that's why I'm here.
Equalizer.
Hold on, hey. Let him get this one on first. Go ahead.
Take this and
Turn
pull
it.
this
Yeah, there you
over.
go. Straight in.
A little more. Put on one pin in, and we'll go.
I just had to move these, adjust these a little bit.
We gotta make sure this is lined
Vertical, yeah.
That looks pretty good.
Make sure the bevel's going to the strut that you're pounding into.
I'm gonna get ready for this.
Who's the center man? You does it? Well, someone's supposed to look at that from the center?
Right there.
Oh, other way.
If you get it on one strut, center it on one strut, then you can work the other strut later.
So,
Go out a little bit with the strut.
It's not laying, yeah, there.
Go back a little bit, right there.
It's got to be pressed down.
Kendall. I'm under Judy's name. Right there. I came along with Judy. I just graduated from the University of Michigan. I'm from Ann Arbor as well. I graduated with a degree in architecture, and so this is right up my alley. And I'm very interested in the environment. So.
Built.
yes.
So, you're gonna push this unit out, push that unit out. Drops right in.
Come on, we need more women.
Now that may have to go up a little bit. Is it seated right? Okay, if it's seated right, we're fine. Yeah, okay.
I'm sorry.
My name is Scott Gates. I'm with the Standing Rock Tribal Council, and Frank Jamerson introduced me to this project, or this type of. I'm kind of interested in it myself, and seeing what Frank wants to do with it, and support him if he wants to build some of these down that way. So.
Two more reds, huh?
We need a red, we need a black.
Black?
Black that way.
Black that way and then the red on top.
So we're gonna do the two vertical ones like this first.
Okay, so we need a black and a red.
Okay.
Or the,
Yeah, see, we're gonna do these ones.
okay, I thought.
So we're gonna need a black right
Black and a
here
red.
and then a red right there.
Yep. Again, we're looking to get one end in first. So upon one end in, whatever's that's the other side.
This is it, as far as we can go now.
One more.
We're gonna go one more
Oh,
out?
yeah.
Don't be scared, don't be scared now.
Well, how are we gonna get up there?
That's where you got that other level of scaffolding over there.
We put the rope on the tree. There we go.
Don't be scared either.
Yeah.
Too much.
Oh, right there.
Yeah, okay.
Get it, come along.
We bought a lot in Madison, Wisconsin. We're from Stoughton, Wisconsin. I was whining about how far we had to drive, but apparently it's not that far. And we're looking to build a dome on the lot. And I'll let Leslie explain how we got to the point of doing a dome.
Well, I think our original plan was a dome, and then we explored every other possibility we could find, and then we came back to the dome, and now we're very much settled on that's what it's going to be. Because we want energy efficiency, we need a smaller space to live, and it's important to me, at least, that it's also beautiful and feels good inside.
There's a black.
Black.
Oh, there's blue.
There's the blue. Do we have a red? There's no red out there?
Nope.
Then the red that we just made we'll use. Even though that's a 15-inch wall, and this is an 18-inch wall, we can use it up there. The outside stays the same, it's just this inside piece will be in a little bit up there. For our purposes, we don't care.
You normally do this course by course, right?
There you go.
Dear life. Dear life.
Spider-Man. That's the Indian Spider-Man.
Did you get a picture of that, Frank?
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna have a good picture.
Hammer and pin.
Right on.
In camera?
Get one end, get one end in and then do the other end.
Okay. Need a pin. You guys go first.
I got it. Oh, heads up.
Osha.
Oh. Hit Sean's plate in his head.
Yeah, go ahead.
Two for
I got it.
measure. Next time I'm gonna wear a Kevlar.
It's hard to hold.
It's
from where
okay,
you're
we're in
at
a de-OSHA zone here, so.
there. Yeah.
Go pull it back this way. There you go. Some more. What's your name?
Easier to get done that way.
Yeah, it is.
We gotta take it apart too. don't we? Scaffolding? Take the scaffolding.
We're gonna put panels, we're gonna put the exterior panels on, 3 of these panels on the outside.
A couple years ago when I was in middle school, we had a big,
I mentioned domes. I built my own dome in '73, 2 of them, 2 24-footers, based on an original plan from Buckminster Fuller that he publicized through Popular Science magazine. And I've been trying to complete it ever since. Part of the problem is work and all of that you just never get around to it. So I think the second dome is going to be done this year, I'm hoping. We mentioned, do they hold up? Well, I put 25-year shingles on my original domes and did it very badly and only had to change them 2 years ago. So you figure it out. And now they're on correctly, so they should last another 40 years. But I'm always retrofitting my dome, and that would answer another question that was raised earlier too. They're very easy to retrofit. I mean, I use underlayment for my walls, and it's very cheap, and I'm cheap. What can I say? I think I put my domes up for about $25,000, if that. It was very inexpensive at the time, but this is a time when we were all hippies, building these structures, and I recall building several domes myself, and some people said, well, how do I water those plants way up in the ceiling, and why are they up there? And he would tell them, well, that's where there's a leak, and that's an automatic watering system.
You have to angle the nail in slightly.
This one in the middle.
Yeah.
Wine and hot dog, do the two together. Is he coming down?
Hard one because can't get a finger hold.
Okay, I got it on the outside.
Put some duct tape on it.
Well, that's fine for the gap standpoint, but in reality, they need more bites on the strut above, so you have to pull it off of this strut and push it up to that strut. So we have a system for cutting out the interior panels out of 1x8 cut and groove spruce. That's the material we're using. So we lay these boards up. These are 14-foot long boards. We have, this is the interior panel we're going to cut out. We have an offset here, along here, that each board is offset and it forms this trapezoid shape, and we then get 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles out of that layout. Now, they haven't given me 14-foot boards, they give me 8-footers, I believe, right here. So we'd have the ability to lay out 2 triangles out of the 8-foot boards. Yeah, 12 boards.
Can you put like on the lower level, like let's say you had a deck, or I mean a rise. Can you put like maybe a different pattern other than, like let's say for, I don't know, sheetrock for instance, maybe just 10 feet up and then the rest of it, you know what I'm saying, or something?
We do that.
You do that? Okay.
And we've got several domes where the dining room has walnut paneling.
That's just something to think about. Even something on top like stars and the
right.
moon and
Well,
I had a dream. It was in my dream.
Your dream. The concept I had
I was thinking the same thing, Doug, about the murals. I met Dave on Standing Rock Reservation about 6 years ago, and we were working with a young woman who had this vision of starting some youth houses, youth centers. She unfortunately was killed, but we then kind of stayed with that vision and have since been working with people on Standing Rock and elsewhere to make that reality come true. And I think it's going to happen. I think we've gotten the resources together to be able to build that structure in 2007. And it is a very collaborative effort. As we start to now get down to the decision what kind of structure to build, it only makes sense to us to build a dome, because not only for all the reasons we've talked about, efficiency and quality and strength, I mean all those reasons, but two other reasons very important to Native people. First of all, it's a green structure, meaning environmental friendly, which Mother Earth is very important to us. And secondly, because symbolically, Natives believe in the circle, and it represents so much about their philosophy and their traditions. And Native people have gotten away from those traditional symbologies.
And that's another reservation.
Yeah, that's the Chippewa.
I've heard.
Chippewa tribe.
All the way over there?
Yeah, way up north east.
Chippewa? Because Chippewa's out of Michigan.
Yeah.
This has been around here a while because it's not fluffing out the way that the normal roll would do. Now, I'm not going to mark this, but I should mark it if I'm going to leave it lay around. So you got to go down and get half on the stud.
I got half here.
You got that? Somebody else can tell us from down there.
Upside down.
No, you got to go.
Yeah, you're set up.
No, too high. This way, sideways. Oh, right there.
But at the top, you're off.
Top is off? Which way? Oh, yeah. So we're going to tell you on this what the rough opening is for the window. So the way this label is put on, there's an A and an A and a B. So here's an A and an A and a B. And the B length is 52 inches for the rough out opening. That's what RO means, rough out. And this is 44 and 7/16 along the A sides. Both of these sides are 44 and 7/16.
Everything that comes up about domes, I'm always saying domes, and they probably think I'm nuts, but I'm hoping that Scott and Frank and Doug and whoever Sean is, I think he's probably sleeping. Oh, there he is. I thought maybe he was sleeping on that bed downstairs. But I'm hoping they'll take this back. I know our housing authority come out. We had some directors from housing authority. They came out, but I'm hoping that the information that goes back home, we could let our people know there's a different style house. One of the projects, talking with Dennis and kind of sharing with Marianne and Dave, is that we want to change that style of HUD homes, or we call them First Dakota homes. They're just plain cheese boxes, and they're really poor efficiency, efficiency is real poor. So we're hoping that we could take this back, and I got, some individuals on council that can help speak out about this and see a different style of living.
There. Now when it gets over so far, Frank can grab that to lift it up to him. Whoops, watch your knees. Let me get up to him.
Oh, we got the flashing.
Now I'm going to tell you which way to move that. You got to go down. I should actually have the level in here. So if you just want to hold that right there. Got it. So on the level. Push against that there. There you go. This is where your shingle comes down to. You take this material, we're going to do this, and you run it down to that, almost that area. You want your shingle to kind of overlap to create the final drip for the rain to drip off and not roll around on this. So this is kind of setting back about a ½ inch from that edge. What we have a problem on is this joint right here, where we've got this coming out. And there isn't any easy way to do this. This shingle is going to be cut 6 inches over on that joint, and this line runs down, and the shingle here is going to be 6 inches over, 5 inches, 6 inches over. But right here with this double flip on it, it's curved this way and it curves this way. You've got to have a little bit of leeway in here. You can't, you'll break the shingle. You'll bend it the wrong way and it'll crack the shingle along here. So you got to kind of keep the first one that you do loose down here to try to get that. Now, if it's colder or cooler, or even like today, you may need to heat the shingle up to get it to bend around that. But it is a situation where this double laminated shingle, trying to do this right here in this one spot, is the hardest one to do on this high profile dome. When we walk over to Bear Creek, you're going to see this application in the corner, and it's a different application because this is going back at a slant. But this is now coming straight down and then it comes out. So that's the hard part of this thing. Be nice if this had been nailed better, like right here. It needs to have a nail in it right there to hold that down. And then this one probably should have been nailed better. Oh, it's just another layer of shingles in there holding it up.
But that's
So,
okay. Is that what you're saying?
Well, I'd like to see this a little tighter in here.
Yeah, because like
You know.
60-mile-an-hour winds.
Right, right. So there should have been, I mean, that's part of why we kind of said to the guy, you screwed up here and here and here.
Oh, okay.
It was the detail.
But you could come back and fix it.
We can come back, this one we can go back with a nail gun and we could fix this.
But on top, how would you check those? You just have to
Well, we go around the whole thing and we check it.
inspect. Oh.
Yeah, there's another loose one right there.
How come these aren't even nailed in?
Where's the bent one?
Well, that's a good question. How come they're not even nailed in? Holy shit. See, I didn't know. Our guys are supposed to have gone around on this thing and redone, but that's why we said, hey, we're taking 10% off the top. He was at about 9,000. We said we're taking 10% off. You
Yeah,
this
wow.
and this and
Trying
this.
to get in and make their...
Is this one here? Or is it...
Yeah, you're right.
So
We did a dome for. It's in Pierre, or just outside of Pierre, at the Pierre Indian Learning Center.
Okay.
52-foot diameter dome, and it was an elastomeric roofing, and they did red and black and yellow and white. And they did the triangles in a pattern. And the woman, the Indian graphic artist who did it, she said, you know, this is a historical pattern. This is she can figure this out, and she got a pattern working that was reminiscent and very close to some kind of old design from one of the tribes. But that was what was done, and it was. I mean, this was red, and this was black, and this was yellow, and it was neat when it was done because of this pattern that it was on the outside. But you can do it in elastomerics in this rubberized coating.
Probably be nice because where I'm thinking about, there is a hill, and you will be looking down.
Right, to look down, and that's where you need to open up the windows down in the riser wall to get the down view. That's what we're doing here. We're going to sit down in the living room.
Like white, you know, aurora borealis type.
So let me ask you: you have a lot of space, like this what we call ceiling. Is it just going to be your white paneling that's going to just go all the way?